In today's episode, we talk about the Star Wars Secrets of the Empire virtual reality experience.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
You are listening to the Main Street Magic Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Stein and John Marone.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I will check in with John from his secret hideaway in just a few. Please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook at MainSTMagic, check us out on the web at www.mainstmagic.com. This podcast is available anywhere podcasts are, like iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. So I did the Star Wars VR experience back in December when it first opened, and I loved it so much, I had to drag John there to do it with me. John recorded and sent his thoughts over, so let's take a listen.
Jeremy, thanks. Here's my take on the Star Wars Secret of the Empire hyper reality experience at Disney Springs. If you're a Star Wars fan, you like video games, and you're into laser tag, this is for you. Now, Jeremy already told you some of the specifics. You got to be at least 10, you got to be at least 48 inches to be able to do. But he and I went and did this experience together, but you wait through the queue, you go, you suit up, the backpack that you put on is a little bit heavier and it's tight. They put it tight on you. You put on the virtual reality helmet and you will go through and you will take this Star Wars experience. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but I will tell you that I thought this was amazing. So here's the great points about it. It is just an amazing experience. It's fun. It's immersive. There are times where you have to go from one area to another. And in virtual reality, you are walking across a thin area over a molten lake of fire and lava, and it feels warm, but you are worried about the steps you are taking. So if you are a person who does suffer from vertigo, and maybe you struggle with those types of even rides, right? I can't do Mission Space, or Star Tours kind of messes with my mind a little bit. This could be something that might be a little intense for you and could make you a little wobbly on it. So I just want to let you know but there were parts that were so realistic that you're just walking across things and you don't know where you're walking because you got this big virtual reality headset on and it really looks like you're walking across a small little gangplank and you're kind of very careful with your steps. I said if you're a fan of laser tag, there will be a point where you are going to be in a number of shootout battles. Your vest is going to vibrate when you get shot. You are going to see the stormtroopers that you are shooting. You are a stormtrooper, so there are periods of time where you lift your arm up and you will have the white stormtrooper, I want to say costume, but it's not a costume, but you will have the white stormtrooper, for lack of a better thing, the costume. It will look like it's on your arm, even though it's not. So it's really neat on that. So this is something that maybe it takes about 10 minutes to get through it, and you're paying $30 for 10 minutes. It's not cheap, but it is definitely an experience, and I found it to be a blast. If it wasn't for the cost, it would be something that I would do over and over because it was fun. And I think each time you do it, Jeremy, this was his second time, so he could probably talk more about that. Is it a better experience the second or third because you know what's going to happen? You're more prepared for it. Sometimes that works out. So this one gets definitely my seal of approval to go ahead and go forth. Now, there are a couple things that I'll tell you. So number one, there are periods of time where the virtual reality maybe lags a little bit. So realize this is not seamless and it's not 100%, but if it's 95%, that's okay. The technology continues to be developed, and holy cow, what's going to be available in the future. And then the second thing for me is this. They don't give you a score, so you don't know how many stormtroopers you shot or how many times you were shot. it's something that I think I would like to see. But hey, I think it's well worth it to be able to do that. So if they were to fix those two things, this is a perfect attraction, and I look forward to seeing it more and more with different types of activities in the future. So Jeremy, that's my report on it. I'm glad that we also get to listen to yours.
Thanks, John. I think you described this perfectly, and you know I love this attraction. Well, I guess it's called an attraction, right? Show, something like that. I know $30 seems steep, but trust me, it's really worth every penny. I really believe that. It's the most immersive experience there is at Disney. I'd venture to say I like it even better than Flight of Passage. It's a complete 4D, maybe it's even like a 5D or 6D experience. I don't really know what that means, but it's absolutely amazing. So you get sights, you get smells, you actually feel this game as you play it. And being completely untethered and walking through this is just like nothing I've ever seen before. This is exactly what Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin and Magic Kingdom needs to upgrade to. But unfortunately, the ride turnover would just be way too long, so they can't bring something like this into an actual park. So it being a hard-ticketed paid event really makes a lot of sense, as well as having it over at Disney Springs. So you should definitely order your tickets online prior at atomtickets.com, because when we showed up, and we did buy ours ahead of time, they were telling people they'd have to put their name down and come about 2 hours later if they wanted to go ahead and do this experience. Now, what I'm most excited about, and kind of what John touched on, is that you can do anything with this to expand it. I mean, I feel like there's really no limits. So much like Star Tours is a different ride every time, well, it was, and now it's not, and it's going to go back to being a different one every time soon. They can do that with this. So they could either involve other Disney IPs and make it a completely different adventure, or just keep it as Star Wars and allow you to pretty much choose your own adventure, and have different scenes or different locations. It would just be the same walkthrough path. So I'm with John that I think adding a score-based element to it would be pretty awesome. Things like that have a competitive edge just sometimes make it that much more fun, especially if you're playing with family or friends. And I love doing that at Midway Mania over at Hollywood Studios, and seeing my score as well as what the accuracy was. So maybe that is something they could end up adding. But, I had my full take on it, and I was joined by my daughter, Kaylin, last month, if you want to go back and check that episode out. But overall, I think John and I would both highly recommend this, and I cannot wait to go back again and take Rhonda to do it with me. So maybe I can take Rhonda and Kaylin, but Lacey's not quite old enough yet. So let me know if anybody wants to babysit. So, as always, I'm going to tell you to go out and subscribe to our show on iTunes, Google Play. And if you can, please leave us a rating and review. And next episode, I'm going to give a little bit of information on how you might be able to even win a prize when you start to leave us a rating and review. You can go ahead and find us on social, Main ST Magic, and go ahead and join our conversations out there. We're really starting to pick up. So thank you, everyone, for listening. We really, really appreciate it. We've had such a fun time recording these couple episodes recently, and sharing all of our experiences and giving this feedback to you. That's all I got for now. We'll see you real soon.